15, Senator Fischer, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and welcome to our panel today. Last week in the Strategic Forces Subcommittee, Undersecretary of Research and Engineering Heidi Shyu stated, quote, strategic competitors of the United States are rapidly developing their nuclear arsenal in new and novel ways with a clear intent of increasing their reliance on these weapons in their security strategies, end quote. Director Haines, do you agree with that statement?
Yes.
General, do you?
Yes.
Throughout the war in Ukraine, Putin and other Russian leaders have overtly threatened nuclear use, including Russian state TV airing an animated video showing the British Isles being completely destroyed by a nuclear attack. General, in the United States, we view nuclear weapons primarily as tools of deterrence. But do you think that what we're seeing indicates Russian leadership views nuclear weapons as tools of coercion and intimidation?
Yes, I believe they view those as tools of coercion and intimidation.
Thank you. General, also the Defense Intelligence Agency's 2021 report on China's military power states, quote, the accelerating pace of the PRC's nuclear expansion may enable the PRC to have up to 700 deliverable nuclear warheads by 2027. The PRC likely intends to have at least 1,000 warheads by 2030, exceeding the pace and size the DoD projected in 2020, end quote. I know what you say is limited in this setting, but is it your assessment that China's nuclear forces will stop expanding when it reaches that point of 1,000?
It is my assessment that they would continue to develop the weapons they have.
Director Haines, is that view shared by the rest of the IC? That China's arsenal is going to continue to grow past that point in time?
I mean, our assessment basically says that China will continue to essentially expand their nuclear arsenal and diversification for a period of time. It's unclear how long that will be.
But you anticipate it will continue past the 1,000 warheads that we have looked at in the past?
I think for us to get into numbers, we should do that in closed session.
Okay, thank you. General, as the statement notes, China's nuclear expansion is larger and more rapid than previous assessments projected. Admiral Richard has made a similar point, noting, quote, when I first testified here, we were questioning whether or not China would be able to double that stockpile by the end of the decade, and they are actually very close to doing it on my watch, end quote. What are the implications of the fact that this threat is evolving faster than we've anticipated, and how should we factor that in our assessments?
Senator, we can get into much more detail in the closed session, but I would just say from a strategic competition perspective and nuclear deterrence, this makes it much more challenging for us to defend. And when you factor in Russian nuclear capability with Chinese capability, I think it's a problem for Strategic Command and the Department.
Thank you. Also, General, if we can move to a different theater now. If ISIS and al-Qaeda are able to operate in Afghanistan without consistent or effective CT pressure, how long does the intelligence community assess it will take for either organization to reconstitute their external attack capabilities?
We assess ISIS probably a year, slightly longer, and longer for al-Qaeda.
You know, last October we heard from Secretary Call. He told the committee that we could see ISIS-K generate the capability in 6 to 12 months. And then in March we heard from General McKenzie that the capability might be 12 to 18 months. So I look forward to hearing more about how and why these intelligence estimates have shifted forward. I think that's important for this committee to know, and it's important to understand when we look at the dramatic reduction we've seen in our intelligence collection in the region since our withdrawal. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Fisher. Senator Gillibrand, please.